Hello, I'm Rodney Satterfield with Blanchard Machinery. Today we're going to talk about the new redesigned 255 CPL. Come around this way. This machine has been totally redesigned from the front to the rear. It starts off with the quick coupler. We'll start there first. New design on the quick coupler. It's got a one cylinder on there. It's a lot easier to see from inside the cab. You don't have the buildup of dirt and debris behind it. Kind of helps keep it clean. You've also got a one step coming up to the machine. It's an easy step over into the same level of the machine there. We've got a beefed up lift cylinders on the front of the machine. Got a whole redesign on the loader frame that gives us more breakout, more lifting capacity as well. We've got a removable front door, so if we get stuck in there, glass breaks, whatever, we can take the door off if we need to, and to get it back where we're going, there's a way to turn it off inside the cab. We'll talk about that a little later on. They got the new recessed lights in the machine now. Light package there. You got a redesign on the front for the hydraulic quick coupler manifolds here. You got a push or a little pull out there to relieve the pressure on the machine. You no longer have to fight them to push them in or get inside the cab and relieve pressures with the joystick controls. Also on the front here, they've redesigned the whole front with the hose routing. So it is now replaceable, so if it gets bent, you can go to the parts counter, order a new one, bolt it on, save yourself some downtime. The step here, when the loader arms raise, the step goes with it, so it's not always in the way out front, where before, if people were driving into trucks, trailers, whatever, that old step could be bent, and it was kind of hard and cumbersome to replace. If you come around to this side of the machine, on the front side of the quick couplers here, they've improved the design on how to degrease the machine. They put it in an easier location. You're not fighting all over the bucket or fighting all over the quick coupler to grease the machine. They made them very accessible there. And every pivot point on the machine, starting from the front, has a grease fitting on there, easy access. They do have some, if you're concerned with the guards on the front, you can get the guard covers there at the parts counter to cover them. Some machines we're ordering with them, some we're not, but if you feel like you need some, you can get them from our parts counter there. On this side of the machine, everybody can tell that this machine's totally been redesigned from the frame back. You have optional side lighting on the machine. Redesigned here on the loader frame as well. Gives you a little bit higher lifting capacity and height on the loader. Got a new snorkel here to take in the fresh air. Gets it up off the other side. The older machines, the D series, they're right in behind the seat on the left hand side, and sometimes you can get some extra dirt and debris in there. They moved it up here for better access and cleaner air coming through. Also, got a new air filter. It's just a screw-in filter there for your outside air filter. And then on the cylinders over here, they beefed the cylinders up in the back as well as the front for lifting. And they've got it open in here now. It's no longer enclosed for dirt buildup, debris buildup. And it's going to work out great with the machines, the mulching machines and cutter heads, where you have a lot of flying debris build up in there to kind of protect those cylinders. It just falls out. On the undercarriage, you can get 2 or 3 different styles of tracks to go on the machines. They've also got they've also incorporated in the tie downs on the track frame itself, and a total redesign on the front idler there. We had some complaints before with the 2-piece idler. They've totally redesigned that. It's going to take the float out. You won't have as much wear. It still moves in and out like a regular idler will, but it's going to beef the whole frame up, the track frame up from there. You do have a place here on each side of the machine. You can get an optional camera kit for side view on both sides of it. And they've moved the fuel tanks to the saddlebags here, and that's been a positive for a couple of different things. One is they've removed it out from under the engine. They was able to lower the engine, give you a lower center of gravity for better breakout and better counterweight. The other thing it's done is, if you get trash in the fuel tank, water, trash, whatever, you no longer have to remove the engine to take it out and clean it. Now you can just pop a couple of things off on the inside of the engine compartment. We'll show you when we get in there, and you can just pull those out. It's going to cut the time way down on cleaning the tanks if you ever need to. On the back side of the machine, you'll notice that our radiator is a little lower. That was a positive with taking the fuel tanks out from under the engine and lowering it. Now you can actually look over your shoulder and see out the back glass a little easier. Got a new snorkel here for the intake for the clean air coming in. And on the back door here, all of this now is replaceable on the rear. Your screens, your shields, all that can be replaced at our local parts counter. Got your camera incorporated in here. You still have the heavy duty bumper that we had before. And in our engine compartment, got our locking pin there. As you can see, we've got a total different redesign in this as well. You've got the engine lower in there because you got your fuel tanks on each side. Easier access to the battery, easier access with the main cutoff switch there. And then your air tank, on the older machines, you had your fuel tank in here to fill, and everybody wanted to clean their air filter out while they were filling up, so you get trash and debris in there as well. Fuel water separator on this side here, oil dipstick, and a new design with the new engine that they putting in these machines, the Caterpillar engine 2.8. They've also putting in a cartridge filter here, so it's easier access and you're not having to reach around hot components to get to it. Back side of the door here, we've got the AC condenser and a radiator fluid. One of the things that we've always talked about was with our radiators is how hard it is to clean. Now, pop a little button there, comes out, you can clean it, blow it, rinse it, whatever. Also have a sight gauge up there on the side of the radiator for the fluid. All right, as we make our way around, redesign on the rear, hoses are rerouted a little different. It's a little easier to get to. You've got the options for the rear lights on the back. And here would be your other camera if you decide to get the rear or the side view cameras as well. Every pivot point on the machine in the loader frame has a grease fitting. It's easy access to get to. You no longer have to reach in behind the cylinder or try to hunt for grease fittings. It's all in there. Final drives here, filled with oil. Same thing on this side of the machine as far as the undercarriage goes. What you're looking for loose bolts, any wear, tear, and keeping the tracks clean to improve the life. You'll notice here as well, we got our hydraulic tank fill and a brand new sight gauge in there. It's a whole lot easier to read. You're not having to reach up in through the loader arms trying to see the how much fluid you have in. Redesign on the loader arms here like we talked about with the locking brace and the red safety iron here on the machine. Easier to lock in or easier to see and lock in. One person can raise and lower from inside the cab. You don't have to walk out from underneath the loader arms to try to raise it up or have a partner anymore to help you take it down. Same thing on this side of the machine. Just looking, making sure everything's intact. All your grease fittings are hit when you want to walk around, and just checking this side of the machine like you did the other. Now we'll bring in Cole Jacobs. He's our compact rep from our Columbia compact store. We'll ask him a couple of questions. Hey Cole.
Rodney, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Doing good.
Cole, what are the customers saying about the new 255s?
The customers have really loved the coupler design where it was a clockwise turn and it got the dirt compacted. With it going this way now, that dirt's not allowed to get compacted in there, and to me it has more power, and I've heard the customer say that as well.
Good deal.
Also, they've featured the door being able to have the bucket up and be able to get out. That was a big complaint before. That's not anymore. It goes up about 7-8 inches. It just depends on your attachment and how low the displacement is on the bottom of it. Before, you had to have it level with the ground and you're able to get out of it.
Yep.
Going into the release on the coupler, you could pull it instead of having to fight it, pushing it in.
Yep.
And that's been a huge time saver. And the debris on the side of the boom arms, it doesn't have that cavity, so it allows that debris to fall out, saves you on a guarding kit.
Good deal. Well, have you ever had customers get stuck in the machine before with the loader arms up?
Quite a few.
Well, let me show you a little trick on this one, Cole.
That works.
So, to take the door off, if you're inside the cab, you wouldn't have to open it. Pull the little clip out, put it in its handy dandy little holder, and just say, pretend I was in the machine. Loader arms were up too high where I couldn't get to it, Cole. So So watch this. Door comes right off.
That's an awesome feature.
Yep. Now, going back on, you got a larger pin on the bottom, fits right in. You have to move the door full length, let it drop back in. Plug your wire up, and he's back ready to go.
That's awesome.
All right, Cole, we're showing a couple of features there. Why don't you get the 259 and let's show the difference inside the cab with a guy like your size and my size getting into it. You're a little bit bigger than me, but
I'll be glad to do it.
Thank you. All right, here's Cole in the 259. As you'll notice on this, we talked about the redesign of the front. So in the old way, the 259 D3, you had to step here, step up, hard to maintain 3 points of contact getting in this machine. And then a guy like Cole, size we are, it's kind of hard. You've got to spin around and back into the seat. As you can see, it's a tight quarters in there for him. And there's really not a lot of adjustments on the seats in and out. So it's not real comfortable. So as some people say, this one was not really big guy approved.
No.
All right. And Cole, if you don't mind, I'll show you. Just kind of step in with your foot half in, half out with 3 points of contact, and we'll see the difference in the two machines. So as I'm climbing in the machine and I'm on the step, I'm actually on level ground, so I'm stepping from level to level. You'll see Cole, he's awkward because he's got 1 foot higher than the other. Even with 3 points of contact going in that one, it's harder, and you got to clear 1 step come up to get in the machine. Nicole, I'm going to ask you to come over here and climb in this cab, and let's see what it looks like.
That works.
As you can see in the machine, he's got a lot more leg room, a lot more space in there, and he doesn't quite feel like he's in a can.
No, sir.
All right, Cole, now that you're in the machine, first thing is seat belt is safety, as always. You got the lap bar down, and everything in the seat, around the seat that you see inside the cab that's yellow is for your comfort. Will you demonstrate how you move the arms in and out?
Yes, sir. Got 2 handles here. Slide them out. They lock in. Slide them back, whatever you're comfortable with for the operator.
And again, me and you talking, this big guy approved, right?
Very big guy approved.
There you go. You also have air ride seat in the machine on the left-hand corner down here.
Yep.
You can let it up and down for our weights. And then on the other side, you have a heated seat with an option for a vented seat as well. So it's on the right-hand side, so when the machine's running. The new joysticks in there, how do they feel in your hand?
Really good.
I call them the fighter pilot joysticks because it's got everything on there but refuel on it. But as if you'll notice, you got all your auxiliaries. You got your work tool button there, your horn, you got the radio, you can mute it, turn it up and down. And on the right-hand joystick over there, you can navigate the new touchscreen menu, the 8-inch advanced menu in there, without having to touch the screen if you wanted to. You got the same auxiliaries just like you would on a normal joystick over there as well. Something new in this machine on all cab machines is coming with the keyless start. So if you want to demonstrate how to turn that on, wait for the advanced monitor to pop up, and then we'll press the green button to start it. It's that simple. Not only in the cab do we have the push to start button, it's got, on the cab machines, it's got an automatic AC in there, so you could set it just like you do your car or your truck, set it on what temperature you want to go from there. The buttons up top there, press the red button, the park brake on the top panel. Now press it again. You'll notice that turns the park brake on and releases the hydraulics. Down below that, you got your lights, your working lights and side lights. Turn those on and hit the right-hand side over there. It turns the side lights on as well. And then down below that is your quick coupler. So on the quick coupler side, if you wouldn't mind turning those lights off for me. On the quick coupler side, it's a 2-push quick coupler.
Yep.
So the first one is you're going to push it in, and the second time you push it in, hold it. And as you can see, it unlocked the front. This new quick coupler is easier to see inside the cab because everything is the same here.
Yep.
So if this one's up, so is the rest. If it's down, it's locked in. Doesn't necessarily mean the attachment's on the machine. We have to do a check after that, but we'll know it's down and locked in.
Yes, sir.
So locking the machine back, press and hold the lock button, hold it in as it locks in. Now your park brake's on, you got hydraulics, so let's test it and see if it's locked in good. Yep, good to go there. The button up above that one is your level lift. So if you had on a set of forks there and push that one there, yes sir. And now go up with the machine, it'll keep your bucket level, forks level, whatever you want. All right, and Cole, how many of these machines have you sold and everybody calls you and asks you how you turn continuous flow hydraulics on?
About every single one of them.
Every one. So now all you have to do is turn the button on, push the button, and as you see on the top of the screen, it'll give you the little light there, the yellow light.
Yes, sir.
And if you had a hydraulic tool on there, you just roll the thumb wheel up until it turns green and it's locked in.
Yes, sir.
All right, Cole, you see any other buttons in there you might need to know?
No, sir.
You've got your windshield wipers and your washer fluid
Yep.
down below. And also you got a new throttle in there. So you can run the throttle either the old way with your foot pedal, or if you run the RPMs all the way up, it's a diesel pedal like a dozer. You do have the 7-function hydraulics on these joysticks, and you do have an 8th one up here on the panel. That's if you had a sweeper or a broom or anything that had a water tank on there where you could spray the water. If you look over your right shoulder, they have moved the loader emergency letdown switch behind you.
Yep.
And also you've got a hammer there as an access to get out. You no longer have to pull the seal out and push the window out. But do me a favor, look over your right shoulder. Can you see anything out the back?
Yes, sir.
On the older machines, the 259s, you couldn't do that.
No, sir.
It was kind of useless. And me and you would have a hard time getting out the back window of a 259.
I don't think it's going to happen.
All right, they've moved all the air vents out of the floor, moved them up overhead and on the side. You got a lot more leg room in there. And Cole's 6'4". He can stretch out in this machine and feel comfortable and not worrying about hitting his machines every day. Do you feel good in the cab?
Very good, very comfortable.
One thing I left off and forgot to tell you is your new inner cab filter for inside the cab, recircle air, is right over your right shoulder now. It's easy access. Look down behind your right shoulder.
Right there.
And then your fuse panel's down on the below it.
Yes, sir.
And in every Cat machine, owner-operator manual, most likely in the rear of the seat if you had any questions about any operations. Hey Cole, how about cut the engine off and we'll go back and we can go through the monitor without having to go over the noise.
Alrighty.
If you notice Cole there, one thing he done with the switch, he turned the dial. If you need to emergency shut it down, you can hold the center of the switch there and will emergency shut the machine down, but we don't recommend doing that all the time.
No, sir.
So just turn the dial and it'll shut itself off. On the new monitor there, you got your water temperature, your hydraulic temperature, your alternator and battery output there. Also, the next one over is your RPMs, and then you got your fuel gauge on the side. Up top, you've got all your controls, what you have turned on. Right now, it looks like with the bucket line up there, you still got the parallel lift on.
Yes, sir.
And you got it in rabbit mode, and your hour meter's in the right-hand corner there. It also, on this machine, for our customers that are not used to running the Cat controls or standard controls on there, you can change it over to the H linkage and run it like I guess some of our competitors used to run. And then you got your clock up top there as well. The 3-line button, which I call the hamburger menu, if you'll click on it, Cole, you can set where the camera's on all the time or just in reverse. You can always go back and click the gauges there. And if you've got some settings in the machine over there that you can touch on the machine, speed the loader arms up from inside the cab, You can also speed the drive mode up on the response time as well. It's got all the machine controls in there. You can set it up. You got creep mode in there, which you also have it on your hand. You can turn it on. Now go back a screen, Cole. You also got your display settings in there. You can change it over. Your radio's built into the system now. You can change your radio there, Bluetooth radio, and also the I button over there, the information. You can go and pick up anything in the tractor with the upgrades and this and that. Service mode also gives you a way to go in and make some changes to the machine if you need to, or you can have it locked out by the operator ID. So Cole, also on this machine, the QR code that we talked about in the previous walk around.
Yes, sir.
The QR code there that you can scan, bring up information on the machine as well. So you've got it in the rear of the door and inside the cab. That'll bring up the serial number of the machine. You can also put the owner-operator manual on your phone. Take it home with you, study it at night if you're wondering what a button does, or you can give us a call. What are customers telling you about the inside of the cab, the machine?
They're loving the leg room. They're loving the operator comfort of the machine. I've had a lot of good feedback on the cell phone holders. It allows you to have your phone up here because a lot of them are working off their phone. It allows them to look at their phone and still be in a heads-up display mode and be safe to operate in an environment. Main features too that they're liking is the radio is now on the monitor. It's not back here over your right shoulder and taking your line of sight away from what's in front of you. And with the AC up here, everything's pretty much right here at the operator's disposal, quick and easy, and there's no turning or going backwards.
And we still have the overhead mirror in there too. A lot of people are used to it, and with the bigger monitor, it shows the rear view camera in there, but that mirror is still in the cab. It's still a nice feature as well. Got a sunlight up there over your head as well, so you can see over your head when you're dumping into a truck.
Yes, sir.
Or working overhead with a mulching head on a tree or whatever. All right, Cole, you have any other questions?
I do. I have one. Mr. Rodney, I've had customers ask, when these side mirrors right here get dirty, side glass, is there a way that we can clean them?
Yep. And this is one of the features that, we've been needing for years. These glasses, you can flip both of those levers up there, move it to the center position. Those glasses fold right out. You can take them out, clean the backside, get the grease, get the dust off of them. Both glasses will come out, they'll be clean. And one thing that we forgot to mention earlier, you got a lot more line of sight underneath the loading arms there as well, just looking back over your shoulder.
Yes, sir, you do.
So anything else?
That is it.
If you have any questions, please contact your local Blanchard Machinery. We're all throughout the state of South Carolina.